Greetings to everyone. So last class we have discussed about the energy flow models. Now we go for biogeochemical cycles. So what is this biogeochemical cycle? So as the word indicates, it involves biological, geological and chemical factors. So in earth science, a biogeochemical cycle is a pathway by which a chemical substance moves through both biotic and abiotic compartments of the earth. So biotic compartment is biosphere and abiotic is lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. So a cycle is a series of change which comes back to the starting point and which can be repeated. So more or less circular pathways through which the chemical elements, including all the essential elements of protoplasm, circulate in the biosphere from environment to the organisms and back to the environment are known as the biogeochemical cycle. So these always involve hot equilibrium states, that is balance in the cycling of the elements between compartments, that is biotic and abiotic. As biochemical cycles describe the movements of the substances on the entire globe, the study of these inherently is multidisciplinary. Okay. So what are these cycling elements? So macronutrients, that is, you have studied in your school level itself, that is big six, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus. And other macronutrients are sulfur, potassium, calcium, iron, magnesium. Micronutrients, they are required in very small amounts, so but still they are necessary, that is boron, copper and molecule. Now, types of these biogeochemical cycles. So the term gaseous cycle refers to the transformation of gases between various biogeochemical reservoirs, that is hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So first example we are going to take now, that is nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen cycle is the majority of the Earth's atmosphere is nitrogen, that is 78%, all of you know. So nitrogen availability can affect the rate of key ecosystem processes, including primary production and decomposition. So the nitrogen cycle is the process by which nitrogen is converted between its various chemical forms. So this transformation can be carried out through both biological as well as physical processes. So nitrogen is present in the environment in a wide variety of chemical forms, that is organic nitrogen, ammonium ion, nitrite ion, nitrate ion, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide or inorganic nitrogen gas. So organic nitrogen may be in the form of a living organism, humus or in the intermediate products of organic matter decomposition. So the process of nitrogen cycle transforms nitrogen from one form to another. And most of those processes are carried out by microbes. Okay? So microbes present in the soil. So the steps in nitrogen cycle are nitrogen fixation, that is nitrogen to ammonia or ammonium or nitrate ion. Then nitrification, that is ammonia to nitrate ion. Then assimilation, that is incorporation of ammonia and nitrate into biological tissues. Then ammonification, that is organic nitrogen converting to ammonia. And then denitrification, that is again nitrate converting back to nitrogen. So again it has to give it back. So atmospheric nitrogen must be fixed in usable form to be taken up by the plants. Mostly fixation is done by free living, that is Azobacter, and Clostridium, or symbiotic, that is Rhizobium, known as diazotrophs. So symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria such as Rhizobium. So Rhizobium is the name of a bacteria. Usually live in the roots, nodules of legumes. So here they form a mutualistic relationship with the plant, producing ammonia in exchange for carbohydrates. Okay. So 30% of total fixed nitrogen is produced industrially by Haber-Bosch process, which uses high temperature and pressure to convert nitrogen gas and a hydrogen source into ammonia. So biological nitrogen fixation can be represented by the following equation. That is N2 plus 8H plus 8 electrons plus 16 ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, giving rise to 2 ammonia plus H2 plus 16 ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. So nitrification. The conversion of ammonia into nitrate is performed primarily by soil-living bacteria and other nitrifying bacteria, that is Nitrosomonas species. So these nitrobacter are responsible for the oxidation of the nitrite into nitrates. So you can see here ammonium plus oxygen giving nitrite plus oxygen giving rise to nitrate. Then assimilation, that is nitrogen from the soil by absorption through the roots as amino acids, nitrate ions, nitrite ions, or ammonium ions. So plants can absorb nitrate or ammonium from the soil via their root hairs. So if nitrate is absorbed, it is first reduced to nitrite ions and then to ammonium ions. In plants, they have a symbiotic relation with rhizobia. Some nitrogen is assimilated in the form of ammonium ions directly from the nodules. Then ammonification, that is bacteria or fungi convert the organic nitrogen within the remains back into ammonium, and process is called as ammonification or mineralization. And the enzymes involved here are gluten synthesis, GOGAT, and then GDH. Then coming to the denitrification, that is the last step, it is the reduction of nitrates back into the largely inert nitrogen gas, completing the nitrogen cycle. So to complete the cycle, it has again to be converted into nitrogen, and this is performed by Pseudomonas and Clostridium, that is anaerobic conditions, that is where oxygen is not available. So they use nitrate as an electron acceptor in the place of oxygen during respiration. So it see here nitrate converting into nitrite, then nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, and then nitrogen gas. So this is the overall nitrogen cycle. That is, first you can see here nitrogen fixation taking place. Okay, so detritus, retrivores, ammonium ion formation, then nitrification, nitrates, then assimilation, and then again back into nitrogen.